Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Four news stories for you and an update as well. Update about a video which I did a few hours ago, in which I told you that Isaac Savuki's son is participating in meetings held in Egypt. Firstly, four news stories. A brief look at the four news stories, then details for you. Fano fighters have killed main leaders of a district. This is the second time that Fano fighters have killed several district level leaders. Now it seems that they don't want to release Prosperity Party officials who they are detaining. They're killing them. Secondly, Egypt spoke very clearly yesterday about Ethiopian demand for access to sea. It seems that yesterday Egypt and Eritrea took opposition. Opposition, they will defend opposition which could lead to a regional conflict. So far, the conflict is diplomatic, but the position taken by Egypt yesterday is indicative of coming conflicts. Thirdly and fourthly, we have two new stories about protests. Two protests will be held in Ethiopia tomorrow. Starting from Monday, you'll see major gatherings in two zones, two regional states of Ethiopia. Before these four new stories, an update. I won't call it a correction. I would call it an update. I did a video a few hours ago. I showed you a picture. Picture showed Eritrean foreign minister holding a meeting with Egyptian and Somalia's counterparts. Usman Saleh was holding a meeting with Badr Abdelathi of Egypt and Ahmed Malin Fiki of Somalia. And behind Eritrean Foreign Minister Usman Saleh, a man was sitting, and it is being said that he is Isaac Savuki's son, Abraham Afwerki. I showed you the picture. Several viewers, especially Eritreans, they said that the picture does not show Abraham Afwerki. The man shown in the picture behind Usman Saleh is not Abraham Afwerki. I don't know. I don't have any official way of confirming it. I can only show you pictures of Abraham Afwerki and the picture I showed you in the last video. You can see the two pictures side by side. Up to you to decide. Abraham Afwerki seems to be taller, though the two seems very similar. But let's wait for confirmation from some official source. Having said that, can we say that Isaac Afwerki is not grooming his son? What is Abraham Afwerki doing? What are his activities in Eritrea? Is he involved in government affairs or not? He's involved. I think 2 years ago I did a video on that. I remember when I used to do some discussions with Miss Irma. Back then I told you that Abraham Afwerki was in charge of Eritrean president's office. I think people know that, but government people, pro-government activists, diehard supporters of Isaac government, they won't admit that. But Afwerki's son, Abraham Afwerki, is running the affairs of presidential office. This is what we learned years ago. But I never saw him on visits abroad, visits of Eritrean president or other foreign ministers or others. That is why it was a new thing for me that I shared that with you. But let's hope that we get some official confirmation that the man sitting behind Usman Saleh is not Abraham Afwerki. Now, there's four news stories for you. Firstly, Fano fighters have killed several main leaders of a district. In a video 3 days ago, I think, I told you that Fano fighters had captured a district administrator, Dangal administrator. I showed a video clip too, and Dangal administrator was seen in the custody of Fano fighters. Regular viewers know that I showed the clip on my user news. Back then, we only confirmed that the administrator had been captured by Fano. So we're waiting to see the update. We're waiting to see the outcome. Now, Dangla is in Ago Abi zone, where Agos live. Agos have been trying to fight against Fanos. Ago militias have been raised to by military. But Fano fighters have been carrying out attacks in Ago Abi zone for more than a year now. Ago Abi Zone Communication Office has issued a statement. So it's now official that Dangila district administrator has been killed. Not just administrator, some other officials of Dangla district as well. According to the Ago Abi Zone Communication Office, Gatnath Marlagan is the name of the district administrator, district governor, they call it, who was kidnapped by Fano fighters in Dangala, and he's been killed. Gatnath's driver has also been killed in custody. They were not killed in combat. They were taken prisoner. Video was recorded. Video was published by several pro-Fano news sources. Video was propagated, and after that, these people were killed. Secondly, Adiso Milada killed. He is the head of cooperatives. The Daraja Gasha killed. He was working as head of sports wing of Dangila. Getnath Shashim killed, head of roads and transport authority of the district. And some other officials have also been killed. This is the second time in the last few months that Fano fighters have killed entire leadership of a district. It happened in Diga Remote, if you remember. A few weeks ago, Fano fighters captured Diga Remote district officials, and almost all of them were killed by Fano fighters. And if you remember, Commander Zenebao of Gojam Fano defended that decision. He said that the people who were killed, they were happy with the decision. They said that, yes, he said they agreed with the decision. So what option do you have in custody except agreeing with your abductors? I think it's a new strategy now adopted by Fano fighters. They don't want to tolerate anyone now. Anyone who supports Prosperity Party, any government official, they are not going to tolerate them. They're going to kill them. What will government do now? Will government be able to support its officials? Because Fano fighters basically want to completely paralyze district level administrative structure. If they kill people publicly, if they kill entire leadership of a Warada, it's a very strong message from them, strong warning from them to other Waradas, to that no one will be allowed to survive if you support government in the operation against Fano. We could see more bloodshed in Amhara region. Agos are being mobilized by military against Fano. You'll see more mobilization. You see more recruitment of Ago militias. You see more fighting between Ago militias and Fano militias in Ago. Secondly, yours, Egypt and Eritrea seem to have taken a position which could lead to a broad regional conflict. Yesterday, we know what happened in Egypt. In Cairo, foreign ministers of Egypt, Eritrea, and Somalia held trilateral discussions, and after that, they held a press briefing too. Egyptian foreign minister spoke there, Badr Abdillate. Badr Abdillate made it clear that those countries which don't have a coast, which are landlocked, they cannot have access to sea, military access to sea, not access to sea, military access to sea, or naval access to sea. And if any country which is a non-littoral country, means it has no coast, like Ethiopia, if any country tries to gain military or naval access to sea, which is a non-littoral country, it won't be accepted. He ruled out the possibility of a country gaining military or naval access to sea. So the meetings in Cairo were not just about peacekeeping mission in Somalia. Meetings were about an alliance among Eritrea, Somalia, and Egypt that Somalia must ensure that Ethiopia does not gain access to sea militarily. That its military, its navy don't get access to sea. Obviously, they talked about peacekeeping mission too. They don't want major Ethiopian role in 2025 in Somalia. Fiki there. Fiki is leading Somalia's delegation there. Now, a lot depends on Hassan Sheikh government. A technical level talks going to start, I think, in coming weeks. This is what was announced yesterday when Abiy and Hassan Sheikh met. The way Egypt and Eritrea are putting pressure upon Somalia, Somalia will not allow Ethiopia to establish a military base on its coast. Somalia will gain access to sea to Ethiopia for commercial purposes. Will Ethiopia be satisfied with that? No. Ethiopia wants to use Somalia's ports, but it wants to build a port as well. It wants to upgrade ports in Somalia, so it wants to invest there. Can Ethiopia trust the government of Somalia? And secondly, Al-Shabaab is a major force to be reckoned with in Somalia. Why would Ethiopia endanger its billions of birds? I mean, if Al-Shabaab takes over the airport, the port, the route, what will Ethiopia do? All its investment will be wasted. That is why Ethiopia won't agree to non-deployment of its forces at the port which it wants to use inside Somalia. It's a very interesting situation, by the way. Interesting days ahead for the region. Somalia in a difficult position. What will it do? Hassan Sheikh announced resumption of diplomatic ties with Ethiopia yesterday, while Egypt and Eritrea standing with Somalia's forces, sending a very strong signal to Somalia. Hassan Sheikh will have to make one decision, I think. He'll have to choose, I think. You have to choose between Ethiopia and the duo, Eritrea and Egypt. Let's see. Lastly, was two protests will be held on Monday in two different parts of Ethiopia. Preparations underway. Firstly, in Tigray, in Makale, 3-day protest is starting tomorrow. Silal Civil Society of West Tigray has announced to start a major protest in Makale from Monday. 3-day protest. It's a civil society organization. It says that, and the slogan of this protest is Yakal. They're saying enough is enough. And it's about Western zone dispute. The civil society organization says that it's enough now. People are suffering. IDPs in Tigray are suffering. They're not being allowed to return to Western zone. Amhara forces, Eritrean forces, allegedly, are there too. And government is not implementing Pretoria deal. That this is time to speak, time to protest. Protest will start tomorrow, but who is behind this protest? I mean, public rallies are not allowed in Tigray. Government does not allow public rallies. Only government-approved public rallies are allowed in Tigray. Only rallies approved by the security forces are held in Tigray. Who is behind this protest? Military, Getachew group, or Debrecen? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's see how many people attend the protest, which government, opposition people are there. That we'll see tomorrow. Secondly, a major protest is due to be held in Guji tomorrow. I told you about recent protests in Guji against the inclusion of Nagale in East Borana zone. In 2023, East Borana zone was created in the Oromo region of Ethiopia. That led to start of border dispute between Gujis and Boranas. People of Guji have been protesting. They say Nagale should not be included in East Borana zone. We saw several protests in the last few days, and planning is underway. Preparations being made for a major protest starting from Monday. Oromia government has not been able to solve this issue. This is how, by the way, border disputes get extended, and then they go on for years and decades, and people die. Issues should be solved. No matter how tough the question is, question should be answered. Shimala's government will have to tackle this issue. Otherwise, this issue will keep on leading to protests and ethnic clan violence in the area. Thanks for watching.